How did you come to be a part of this book and this whole process?
Well, I actually was doing research for another book, and I was researching nuclear arms, illegal nuclear arms proliferation, which led me to an expert in Poland who had previously been Polish intelligence, who was a double agent who had helped the CIA in the fight against communism in Poland. And he had worked with General Rowny on General Rowny's first book, It Takes One to Tango, his memoirs a number of years ago. And David Dastisch, who is this Polish gentleman, had translated it into Polish for the general. And so David Dastisch said, you must meet General Rowny in Washington. He's a nuclear disarmament expert because General Rowny, under President Reagan, led nuclear disarmament negotiations with the Soviets in the Cold War. And so we met, and on the side he happened to mention this other little project he had, Smokey Joe, and once I set my eyes on it, I just thought some of the history in it. When I would turn a page, I would see incidents of such historic importance, and I would say to General Rowny, does anyone realize that President Truman was about to make the Marines extinct? And he'd say, well, no, not really. And I'd say, General, we have to tell the so many incidents of such historical importance that I really became passionate about it because I don't think General Rowny realized how much history was in there that really needed to be told. So I became very impassioned about Smokey Joe and the General. And General Rowny inspires a person, that's for sure.
Would you like to hear about that, how President Truman almost succeeded?
Sure. Sounds great.
Well, I was one of the planners of the Inchon Invasion for General MacArthur, and when we developed this plan, we found that we needed another division in order to make it succeed.
And this is in Korea.
In Korea, 1950, after the North Koreans had attacked the South and pushed the troops down into the southern part of the peninsula, General MacArthur thought that the way to break this impasse was to have an invasion up the coast. So we were planning that, and as I say, we needed some more troops, and there were no more troops in the U.S. Army, and there was one Marine regiment in reserve down at Busan perimeter, they call it. And so General Allman, the chief of staff to General MacArthur, who had been my boss in World War II, and Smokey Joe's boss, by the way, said, I have a scheme, and I'll go to General M. Shepard, who was the head of the Fleet Marine Forces, and see what he can do. They're both from VMI, so they knew each other from the Virginia Military Institute. So General Allman said, Len, if you can find 2 more regiments of Marines, we'll put together a full division, and then we'll put them into Inchon. Then Inchon will succeed, and the Marines will be saved because President Truman said we don't need Marines anymore, and he was going to wipe them out of existence, and this will be a way to save them. So General N. Shepard went around the country, and he recruited 2 more regiments, regiment being about 3,000 people, about 6,000 people, 2 regiments of people Marines who had fought in World War II and still were on a reserve duty and still had some combat ability left in them. And he brought these 2 regiments into Korea and married them up with the 1 regiment, and then we had a division ready to go. We put these into the Inchon Invasion. The Inchon Invasion was a fantastic success, and Marines were a great part of that. They were written up in the news media and really shown what great acts of valor they could do, and lo and behold, the Marine Corps was saved by 2 generals, a Marine general, a 3-star, and a 2-star Army general in Tokyo. So that's the story.